Hi sewers, it's Bree at Save Stores. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your week. This week, I'm kind of playing with all of the different brands of machines that we sell. I love that at our store, we really kind of pride ourselves on the knowledge that we have that we provide you with so that you can get the most out of your sewing machine. But we just finished up a show a couple weeks ago, and I had a lot of people asking me, what's the difference between all of the brands that you sell? Are they all the same? Would they be comparable in quality and in features? And so today I just want to highlight a few of the special features of the 3 biggest brands that we sell so that you can kind of decide for yourself, are they the same or are they totally exclusive and different? So the first thing I want to show you, I have been working on this really super cute Kimber collection, and this quilt is almost finished. All of the quilting I did actually at the show pretty much with the tabletop long arm luminaire. So much fun. I love being able to finish my own quilts and do things like take screenshots, creating my own quilting designs right on board the machine without having to use software or anything else. So that is one of the most amazing things about this luminaire, and it is exclusive, is that you can actually just create any embroidery design that you want with just your phone and your machine. So that's one thing I really love. But this is a pattern that I bought. So today I'm going to be doing these little spools of thread because in this Kimber collection there's several smaller projects. And so one of the projects is 6 of these little spools of thread. They're super, super cute. So one of the things that I will say is when I'm doing machine embroidered applique, there are times when I have a little bit of trouble getting the fabric trimmed up to the tack down line. So one of the neatest things about this luminaire is that it actually talks to a companion machine called the Scan and Cut. Now the Scan and Cut is a whole animal of its own. It does so many different things, but the way that it helps me with machine embroidery is pre-cutting my applique patterns out so that I don't have to sit there with those special scissors and trim right up to the tack down line. So I want to demonstrate to you how easy that is. So the Scan and Cut's wireless, the luminaire is wireless. That's a pretty awesome function. And all I have to do to transfer the applique data right over to the Scan and Cut is just to go ahead and go through memory and push this little button right here that shows my Scan and Cut, okay? And it's gonna say that I've sent something before. Do I wanna transfer this instead? Yes, I do. So now we're gonna go over to the Scan and Cut, and you'll notice that it's not right next to my machine. So if you don't have room for it, even in the same room, it's not a big deal. Pretty neat. So now all we're gonna do is come over here to the Scan and Cut, and I just want you to notice I've got this tiny little piece of fabric just all, in this center of this big mat, okay? And I'm gonna go over to what's called My Connection. So for those of you that have had like a babylock in the past or thinking, Brother babylock, I do want you to know that this is a function that's exclusive to Brother. So what we're doing is we're just retrieving the wireless design that was sent, and right there is my little spool. So what's really cool about this machine, right now this is gonna default up to the top left corner, but obviously I don't have any fabric on my top left corner. So the coolest part about this is that we can actually capture an image of what's on the mat in order to place that cutting design exactly where it needs to be on any little scrap. Pretty cool. Here she goes. It's cute too. I mean, come on, Disney. Come on. So as we scan, we're going to see on the screen a picture pop up of my fabric. Now, this is a personal preference. I like to make my design just a couple of clicks bigger. I know it's going to be perfect, but I like to make it just a couple clicks bigger. And I'm just going to drag it over the applique fabric that I'm wanting to use. Now, I do want you to know that Brother has made some major upgrades with this rotary blade right here. Just like your rotary cutter, this is going to give you perfect cutting through that fabric. It's not going to drag the fabric around the mat like maybe some of the older models did. The other thing that I really love about this machine is that it does have automatic blade sensing technology, which was a huge relief for me coming from an old Scan and Cut where I was constantly test cutting everything that I cut out. I don't have to do that anymore. This is the Brother fabric mat for the Scan and Cut. This is a great accessory to have for those of us that are quilters and really want to make sure that our fabric is adhered to that mat and it's going to be cutting out correctly. So the blade actually turns all by itself. It's able to kind of reposition itself to get around for curves and things like that. Pretty cool. And it tells me exactly how many minutes it's going to take. This one's pretty quick. Super simple. Okay, so now that we've done that, Oh my gosh, how cool is that? So we've got the perfect shape. And what I love about this is I didn't have to spend a bunch of time trimming. I even used shape flex on the back of my fabric and it cut through the shape flex as well. Pretty awesome. So now that we've got our shape, we're gonna come over and we're gonna go ahead and do our embroidery design. Now I want you to know that on something like this, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'd probably just cut that out. It's just a square. Well, you go you. But when you're doing more intricate things like, you know, maybe words that are really tiny, skinny words like this, you are gonna love that scan and cut. It's gonna be your best friend. It's gonna save your hands. Okay, so let's go back over here. And for those of you that love applique, but you tell me every time you come in, I'm never gonna want an embroidery machine, and I always look at you kind of funny, this is why. So what I love about embroidery machines is that they make applique totally automated. And what I mean by that is applique designs are made so that you first get a placement stitch, and this is gonna tell me exactly where to put my fabric. 1 second here. So I'm gonna know exactly where to put this little scrap of fabric. Now, I didn't use anything sticky on the back of this. I could have used like Applique Wonder, Applique Fuse and Fix. I chose not to, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go kind of cheap and just use a little bit of 505 adhesive spray. And you can see it's in the perfect shape that I have pre-cut here. And I'm just gonna place it in that line with my cut fabric, okay? And I'm actually able to just skip the tack down stitch altogether and start sewing the satin stitch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and push go. And you can see how it's gonna cover it perfectly, even though it was completely pre-cut. That is a game changer. So that is an exclusive function to the Brother Luminaire. That scan and cut my connection is something that is so much fun. It will help you get your projects done much faster, save time, save fabric, because you can use even little tiny bits of scraps and you don't have to stress out about it. So those are just a couple of the features that are exclusive to the Luminaire. My favorite being that it's a tabletop long arm.